Hello, welcome to Fire, Knowledge, and a few sharp tools. Today I'm going to show you how to make a vegetable bouquet. You will need carrots, broccoli, scallions, assorted mini peppers, radishes, grape tomatoes, and olives, leek, acorn squash, French knife, paring knife, zester, channel knife, assorted wooden skewers. To begin our bouquet, we need to prep our vegetables first. Some of the vegetables I put in ice water, helps them get shaped. Let me show you what the first ones were, and we'll start with that. Scallions. I cut off the root, leaving the root end intact. Scallions generally are used up until they change color, but for our purposes, we're going to make them just a little bit shorter. We'll take it off right about there. I'll show you that again. The root come off, the root end stays intact, and we cut a piece off. We're going to save these. We're going to need them later for something, and you'll see exactly what. I now take my paring knife, and I make one slice right down the middle, turn it 90 degrees, and make another slice. And that's ready to go in the ice water. So you can see that once they're been sitting in this iced water for about an hour, they get all curly and look really nice. Okay, so we're going to put that one in. I'll show you this one. One more time, a cut right down the middle. A little bit of that scallion skin. And another 90 degrees and right down the middle with our trusty paring knife. And that's got a nice green center core. That's going to look really good when it opens up too. All right, in the ice water. Another item that needs to go in the ice water are radishes. I'll show you what happens with these. We're going to make, first one is a mum-like flower. Then we cut through about 3/4 of the way, slices. And then we turn them again 90 degrees and go the other way, right across. And this is going to go in the ice water too, and I'll show you what happens to them after they sit in the ice water. And this one's really opened up nicely. See? They open right up and looks like a beautiful flower. Another cut that we can make with radishes is a tulip. I take a little nip off of each side, and then I cut a slice, again about 3/4 of the way down. And you can either leave the center intact or cut it out. And let me show you what happens to these when they soak in the water for a little while. And those open up too and become really nice. So about an hour in really cold water or water with some ice in it. And one more cut, you can just do, it's like an accordion. It's the same as the mum, only in one direction. So we cut slices nice and thin, not all the way through, 3/4 of the way down. And again, that goes in the ice water, and let's find one of those. And that one just opens up too. Okay, so they get really nice, good color, red and white in there. So those are soaking in our ice water. There's one more that we need to put in the ice water, and that's this big guy here. This is a leek. It is also in the onion family. It's kind of like scallions gone wild. Right? This one makes a big, beautiful, fluffy flower too. So I'm going to cut this one off. Again, just where it starts to get dark green is where we don't use these anymore. Same with the scallions. This part gets bitter and tough. So the part that we really want to use is right in here. And you may notice too, leeks are really dirty. So when you cut them, you really need to wash them well. And we can save the leaves for more garnish at some point in time. And I'm going to cut it the same way I did my scallion. I'm going to cut it through, and then a 90-degree cut, but on this one I'm going to give it 2 more cuts. One in between all the cuts that I've already done. I can even see where they are. I guess that's it. If you can fit another one in, you can. Either way, you see how they've all gone? All that dirt in there. That needs to be washed carefully. But let me show you the one we put in the water, because I only need one for this bouquet. And here is that one. Look how nicely that opened up. And got all curly and nice colors there too. We're gonna make a couple of more flowers for our bouquet, ones that do not need to get soaked in water. So let me show you what we're gonna do with the carrot. Cut off some of the end, get a little bit of a point, and then just with the very edge of the knife, carefully make little slots in here, and that comes off like a flower. We can make them longer, more elegant looking, a little bit deeper cuts. Or we can make them short and stubby, representing a different type of flower. More like a crocus. Short and fat, you can put different things inside them. Let me make one more here. Piece of core out. Oh, that one broke. Okay, I'll make one more off of here. Again, put a little point on it. And come up and inside, little slots. There's one with 3 petals. 2, 3, 4. And that one's got 5. Okay, that should be enough of those. And what's more appropriate than broccoli on a bouquet, because this is a flower vegetable. If you have large florets, you can cut them in half. Ones this size will be fine. I have a few of those already set up in my bowl. So a couple of the additional vegetables which we saw in our assortment before, which you don't have to do anything with. The peppers, which I'm just going to use as is. Cherry or grape tomatoes, which I will use as is, and some olives. So there's our assortment of vegetables, the ones we soaked, the ones we just cut, and some we didn't cut, and now it's time to make the baies. Here is our acorn squash. For this particular bouquet with all these assorted flowers, you could use an acorn squash or butternut squash. I'm using the acorn because this one happens to be tall. And I guess another factor is what's the table it's going to be going on. If you have high arrangements on the table, you might want a taller vase. Either way, this really looks good, and I'll show you what we're going to do with it. We take the other end off again to make it stable, nice and flat. And we're going to take the top off also. If I was going to cook this, I would go inside, take all the seeds out, but I'm just going to use it for a vase. Now, this is our channel knife and zester. The small holes here are for the zester. This part is a channel knife. And when I take the channel knife and run it along the ridges of the squash, you'll see that nice contrast of the orange underneath the green. You could do every one, you could do every other one. This just gives a little bit of color and character to our vase. Okay. How many flowers are we going to put on here? Probably 15 or 20. So we're going to get our assortment of sticks. And I'm just going to start placing sticks inside. Now, I told you we wanted to save the scallion stems. And this is what we're going to use them for. I'm going to slip the stem right over the stick. All right, do that for all of them. Now that we've got the sticks on there, start placing some of our other vegetables. Some of these big ones, I'm just going to put right down on the inside, and that tends to cover up any imperfections we may see in the sticks. We'll sticks that aren't too long, and you're going to get the idea real fast as to how this thing is going to go together. All right. So you get the idea, and you can just keep piling on vegetables until you've gotten your masterpiece done. And that's our bouquet. Edible vegetable flowers.